Hello, my good friend. This is Dr. Turi, and today we have March the 21st, 2 days or so before the maximum impact of the upcoming March 23rd SOS to the World Deadly Window. Sudden enough, this energy is already operational. We had the death toll in Iraq ferry, something that took the life of 71 people counting. We had 4 cops that were killed in the bomb attack in Iraq. And of course, we also have some news involving the police. So as always, my dear friend, as always, anytime you see a video, you will have to go and click on the newsletter that is associated with it. Today's newsletter is graphic pic, Reptilius infected newborn as partially developed twin removed from the abdomen. Of course, as soon as I put that on Facebook, all my infected Reptilius enemies, idiotic moron, immediately reported me to Facebook. Next thing you know, I can't post anymore. Yeah, well, people cannot handle the truth. That's why they are not listening, watching this video like you are. That's what you call the subhumans. And what you are is a superhuman. Very different. All right, let me give you some feedback of what happened yesterday in Sedona. I mean, it was just phenomenal. I started to talk about the Reptilius and the Dracanis, explaining to everybody that there is the DNA, the human DNA, which is 150% related to your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. Again, you may even look like your closest family member. However, the spiritual DNA, which is the UCI, or the unique celestial identity, simply makes your closest family members your biggest stranger, because your brother, your sister, your mom, and your dad, even though that they look like you, will never think, behave, create, or have the same fate as you. Because your inherited karmic UCI, unique celestial identity, dictates otherwise. So I try to explain to the audience the difference between the physical and the spiritual manifesto. I always use the same symbol. Positive, negative, up and down, black and white, the front, the back, God, devil, 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 sides of the brain, symmetrical. It's very important not to degenerate by being negative, feeding the Reptilius, because now you're emptying your battery. So I did explain also the beauty of the Dracanis being able to create wonderful technological advance that can only benefit humanity in terms of medical achievement, technology that involve liquid metal developed by the scientists. I mean, you're talking about technology that can help drastically a human being in so many various areas of the human experience. However, you also have the Reptilius, and those are the ones who mess up the fetus. And as mentioned in previous tapes, shows, YouTube videos. When I channel, I'm having difficulties just coming back with normal words. I'm so sorry. Yes, so those Reptilius will target a young mother that drink too much, smoke too much, or by accident would take beyond the counter, supposed to be safe cold medicine. And next thing you know, she's opening to the Reptilius that would abduct her and mess up the gene of a child, and that creates all sorts of problems. I mean, you're talking about Down syndrome, you're talking about gays and lesbians, which are sort of not being normal to the normal, what is normal nowadays. Human being in terms of sex attraction between male and male and female. So there is so much variety involving the manipulation of the human gene that creates all sorts of trouble, all sorts of problems, all sorts of disease that science is still wondering how is it possible. So they create more names, not understanding that it's a phenomenon well above their head that's taking place. Now, the only way to not to be infected is there is no way. There is no way not to be infected. It'll depend, obviously, on your diet. The purest you are, the more you recharge your battery, the less interested the Reptilius are for you. If you vibrate at a very high level, you're very happy, you're very positive, very creative, so that the Draconians are interested in your genes too, because the idea is to populate the immensity of the universe, and they're not going to take subhumans. You know, it's like if you're trying to raise a bunch of chicken, you're going to get the strongest slaughtered chicken out there and mix it with Mrs. Chicken the best. I have to use such idiotic terms to make something so damn complex easily acceptable or easily assimilated for you. There is quite a lot of interesting ways for the Reptilius or the Draconians to get to you. And again, remember, a lot of people on that conference were talking about the Draconians. I start to talk about the Draconians, they've freaked out. Said, hey, wait a minute here. Do not associate the Draconians with the Draconians. Very different. Now, the Draconians could be also associated to the falling angels, while the Draconians to the guardian angel. And as I said in my newsletter, you can give them wings if you want to, because it's all based upon imagination. There are so many people out there that talk about UFOs. And over the years, I mean, hundreds of names have been created and used to classify the good or the bad, because there is only the good or the bad, black and white, up and down, positive, negative, and thousands of words to classify the good it is or the bad it is. It all depends on who you have heard, what book you read, what video you watch, and it became ingrained in your mind. It's pretty much like being indoctrinated by other science, and you turn yourself into an educated idiot, atheist, or a religious fanatic if you succumb to the religious indoctrination, all governed by the Reptilians, for that matter. So there is quite a lot of things to discuss. And as you know, I'm going to be going to the UFOcruise.com. We are going to take off from San Diego and going to be cruising for a week all the way to Mexico. I mean, the people that are involved, that are coming on this UFO trip, are the top of the top, the cream of the cream. But man, I'm telling you, maybe one or two have had an UFO experience. And I don't know if any of them ever talked to or shown an entity like I do with Draco. So I intend to prove to everybody on that ship that Draco is real. That's going to be very interesting. I don't think you want to miss that. That's going to be a shock for a lot of people. Well, yesterday in Sedona, I was wondering, okay, shall I just concentrate on my UFOs experience, which anybody can hear on Age of Truth TV or in any of the shows that I did with George Norrie? Or shall I just, explain a little bit about the Reptilius and the Draconians, who they really are, what they are, their agenda, and then I'm done at the introduction, just, dig into the superconscious and help all these people to remove the negativity or the poisoning, the infestation that we are all subject to. So I did my introduction, I prepare everybody, and of course I corner everybody and I knock everybody out, so to speak. I even managed to hypnotize the guy who was doing the video, and he was complaining. He says, "Whoa, you can do that to me. I'm supposed to be in charge of what's going on out there." So it was quite interesting. I did a good job. In fact, for a day and a half, all I had is people stopping me, telling me how deep they were, how good they felt after the session, and how liberated their soul, their body and their mind felt after I did the cleansing. Of course, I intend to do that too on my next event in April, a 5D event in Las Vegas. That's going to be April the 19th to the 21st. I'm going to meet a lot of my friends. A lot of those people that were at the Sedona conference will also be there, so it's going to be good to see them again. And I'm going to meet my dear friend Said, David Said's good guy. I love him. Anyway, so it's going to be interesting to meet a lot of people I haven't seen for a while again, because Mercury is still retrograde. And then I will do the same thing. I will definitely make a deeper preparation this time, and I try to understand my limits as far as the suggestion is concerned, not to knock out everybody. It's okay if the first, second, and third row are totally gone, but past that, I have to be a little bit, less subjective, put it this way. But, I really, really want you to understand the process that takes place. So I have to introduce you to the subconscious, and to the conscious, the subconscious, and then the superconscious, where all these nasty extraterrestrial operate and messed up the program, so to speak. You have to remember the Reptilius can only survive with your fears, with chaos, with drama. There's plenty of that going on if you watch the news, all right? While the Draconis, as much as the nefarious Reptilius, they need us, they need our lights to keep going in promoting the positive and the negative, and to promote the future world that we are creating. And they need the genes of the best to further their own evil world or their own very progressive world. And as we are moving into the age of Aquarius, the world is vibrating much higher. So the people that I was dealing with 10, 15 years ago could not catch up with me. But with the acceleration, universal acceleration, they are coming right there. And that would allow, of course, all the extraterrestrial to integrate in this dense physical world without digging too much into the uranic fields or the plutonic fields or specific cosmic wind that they need to enter this world. It's pretty much like you have a pass, and you can enter this very private, guarded area only for a certain time, and you're watched very closely. Or it's pretty much like going under the ocean with a ball of oxygen in your back. You only have a certain time to enter a different world. And it's the same with the extraterrestrials. Meantime, I dealt with physical ETs. I've seen the flying saucers suspended above my head. And each time the abduction takes place within the secretive, your home base, your bedroom. But some of the surgery, much of the surgery are done in the flying saucers, because again, antimatter do not agree. And they have, depending on what is achievable, they can do all that psychically. This is why I mentioned to you again, nobody has ever or will ever transform to a lizard. Oh my God. You'll have to pay me to be that stupid. However, and that includes famous people, okay? It could be Trump, it could be Obama, the Queen of England, or Illuminati, okay? They're not going to change into lizards, but every one of those people, including you and I, are subject psychically only to the Reptilius or the Draconis effect. It's important for you to understand both energies, the positive and the negative. That's all there are. the good it is and the bad it is, and many names that you heard some places and other names that you heard from some other sources. It's endless. Now, when I'm going to go to that cruise, that's where it's going to be fun, because I'm going to regress the entire audience to the maximum of my power. So these people are going to get out of that room, but they won't touch the ground, literally. Plus the energy, I already checked the cosmic winds for this cruise. They are Aquarius, they are Uranic, and they're also Neptunian. So it's perfect. The same type of energy that I used in Sedona, but multiplied by 200 million. So that's a perfect cosmic timing. And who knows? Maybe the ship is going to disappear. No, not if I'm with you. So it is definitely something that you want to consider. If you are into UFOs, you've got to come there, because you're going to be digesting so much information by so many people. But the real thing will be there. Okay, and that's me. I am not saying this on an egotistical way, because I'm confident of my wisdom, I'm confident of the cosmic code, I know what I'm talking about, and I offer proof of my connection with Draco by making endless unalgorithm predictions, something I will do again very soon on George Nori. I think it's March the 28th when I'm going to be on George, and I will elaborate a little bit more on the Reptilius and the Draconis. It is important for me to repeat myself, because it is through repetition that you will understand those two magical energy, the positive or the negative, the yin and yang, God and the devil. For without those two energy, there would be no chance for life, not only on this physical plane, but in time and space, in every existence of the universe, cosmos, the limitless, endless, omnipresent cosmos operates on two forces, the positive and the negative. As simple as that. It's not that complicated. In fact, the most difficult phenomenon can be explained rationally and logically. And there are people that just get drunk with words. You know, they regenerate with investigation, and they do a phenomenal work in educating you, in entertaining you. As far as I'm concerned, you're going to be cleansed. That's the only difference. Unless you come there with us, yeah, it's me to know and you to find out, right? All right, my friend, we come at the end of this little tape again. I do apologize if you cannot just yet connect with the cosmic code or assimilate what the Reptilius and the Draconis agenda is all about, because you have been fed a very specific type of information for many years. Okay, and now you're going to be changed to the extreme, outside of the box that you fell in, with something that is radical, something that is totally unique, and something that is very, very real. All right, we talk about it when comes the time. Hope to see you in Vegas. God knows where I'm going to be cruising. Oh, one more thing. The reality show, Cosmic Code with Dr. Turi, pilot video that we did in Beverly Hills is now being edited, and of course I will give you the links. And I believe also that conference, Hypnotic Regression Cleansing conference that I did in Sedona, should also be available to the public. And if I get to know where the links are, obviously I'll let you know. For now, hey, I want to thank you again for listening to Dr. Turi, and we shall see you maybe tomorrow or the day after, whenever. God bless you. Be safe. Remember that nastiest list in the world is still operational. So go to that newsletter below that video and go and read, because I'm constantly updating this newsletter. God bless. Be safe out there.